Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. It is August 17th, 2017, and I'd like to welcome everybody to our daily talk show with our physicist. And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what we are going to do each and every day, is we're going to hold basically a Planet X News live talk show, probably for an hour, maybe 2 hours, giving everybody a chance to get in here and see what we've uncovered and basically to go over what's happening around the world. But let's get to the juicy stuff. By the way, Doctor, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Scott. And how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Give me 1 second here. Hey, listen, folks, we've had just a tremendous turnout for the doctor's book. And this is one of the main reasons why we're holding this Planet X News live talk show with the doctor. And here's the dealio. You're all familiar with conspiracies, whistleblowers, cover-ups, all that good stuff. Well, the fact of the matter is, the doctor's book was pulled from Amazon. Illegally pulled from Amazon for fraudulent reasons based on, well, let's just come out and say it, the opposition, the troll factions on YouTube, the government paid trolls, you know, they're the ones that did it. They basically filed, you know, a bunch of fake and false copyright claims, similar to what they do on YouTube in their harassing efforts to hide the truth, because that's what they're paid for. But anyhow, anywho, and anyway, Amazon went ahead and pulled the book. Now, it's not a human being doing that. We're talking about artificial intelligence. YouTube has it. Amazon has it. I mean, they all have it because they don't have the manpower to, you know, sit there and go through all of this information. It would be too expensive. So they have computers do it. And these idiots basically, well, they kind of get through that computer system. They know how to manipulate it. So therefore, the book was flagged for illegal copyright content. The fact of the matter is, the doctor wrote every single word in that manuscript. And then they were sending me emails, meaning these idiot trolls, and they were saying that, oh, the doctor's in so much trouble with NASA. And basically they were claiming that any photographs that we used from the stereo imaging or the SDO or any of the NASA public internet sites for public viewing was considered a copyright infringement. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, they don't know anything about copyright law. And in all of my years in advertising, I dealt with a lot of copyright law. And basically it dealt with background music for commercials. So I'm very aware of copyright laws. The United States federal government is not allowed to copyright anything that is paid for by the taxpayer. And the taxpayer funds NASA and these websites. That's why these websites are public domains for you to go to and see the information. We paid for the spacecraft. We paid for the satellites. We pay for NASA. NASA is a U.S. space agency. It is considered a government agency. So therefore, they can't copyright anything. I mean, matter of fact, it's, I mean, if you go deep into the websites and you look at the legal disclaimers, I mean, it basically tells you that. And then if you go ahead, if you have enough brains and knowledge, meaning this opposition that wants to stop the truth, If they do their homework, they will clearly see, once you start reading federal copyright law, there is a huge section there that pertains to the United States federal government and copyright. But anyway. So earlier this morning, we got another very big surprise. But this surprise wasn't bad. It actually turned out to be really good. Really good. And the opposition doesn't really understand the favor that they did for the doctor, even though they hate her so much and they send the poor lady death threats and all this other stuff. What they did is, through their tactics of filing these false claims on Amazon and having the book pulled, it just so happened that earlier this morning, a gentleman from New York City, who happens to be very high up in a publishing company that's been around since 1949, has a major office in New York City and bloody old London, England. And when he wasn't able to purchase the book, he contacted me by email. And it just so happened, first thing this morning, I was going through subscriber emails and I ran across his. And he asked me to give him a call after I got his email. So I decided to call. What the hell? At first, I thought it was, maybe some kind of another scam or something like that. But whenever they answered the phone, major corporation, publishing company, they directed me right to this gentleman. Now, I'm not going to release any of that information because that's, we're just going to keep that private for now. But in our conversation, we went over a lot. And he basically told myself and the doctor, because we got on a conference call, and, he said that more and more over the past 10 years, the publishing companies have seen more and more of these diversionary tactics with, whistleblowers, conspiracy type books and things of that nature. But you have to remember something, ladies and gentlemen, these publishing companies, the large ones, well, they're in it for the money. Bottom line. If they know that they can make a buck on your book, they're going to do so because that's what they do for a living. It's business. So after going over a lot of the information that he had about this type of operation, he said to us, listen, do me a favor, email me the manuscript, give me a few hours, let me read it over. It's only 10 chapters, a lot of pictures. So he did. I gave him my phone number. He called us back a few hours later. And lo and behold, he said, listen, go ahead, republish your book onto Amazon. They probably won't do anything about the other manuscript that was uploaded where they filed all of the false copyright strikes against you. That may take some time. But eventually, the people who filed the copyright strikes will not be able to produce legal binding evidence of the actual copyright infringement. And then your book will be re-uploaded to Amazon. But in the meantime, just re-upload it. Get it out there for people to see. Because in the next 30 days, we'd like to sign the doctor on for a 5-book deal. Ladies and gentlemen, did you just hear me? A major publishing company in New York City that's been around since 1945, I think it is, either 45 or 49, with offices in New York City and London, have offered her a 5-book deal. They basically told her not to worry about any of this opposition, because their legal department will take care of all of that. And, you know, myself and the doctor, we actually just stood there and looked at each other. We were like, hey, thumbs up, man. This is really, really good. Because we've been looking for this way to fund our cross-country public speaking tour, engagement, whatever you want to call it. We want to get out there and we want to see you people. And we want to show you a face-to-face 2-hour presentation on what is occurring and what's happening. And we did mention that to this gentleman. And he's been in the publishing industry now for 32 years. He also told us that Amazon would never put your book on the shelf in any bookstore, but they will. He said, give it 30 days. Let us get through the contracts, the paperwork, and the copyright information that will be filed with the federal government, the federal copyright license under them. Now, naturally, they hold rights. They're a publisher. Amazon was only paying the doctor, I think, about $7 or $6.52 out of the $20 that they were going to collect. The New York City Publishing Company has offered her a 65% royalty on her book. And they're offering a public, or not a public, but a secure public link for any of you to purchase the book, whether it be in paperback or a downloadable format for your Kindle. That's going to be pretty cool. We don't have to worry about anything from here on out. They can flag the book on Amazon. It will eventually be back up there. But the fact of the matter is, what's really weird is they actually helped us. They actually helped us move forward leaps and bounds. My hat's off to these dummies. You know, I mean, really. And as we got further into the conversation with this gentleman, we started mentioning that we wanted to speak publicly, and that we were going to be using the royalties to fund our tour across the United States. And he looked at me, or the doctor looked at me, and we both said to him, hey, what about these book signing tours? He said, hey, you took the words right out of my mouth. Wow. Cool. Barnes and Noble, baby. Barnes and Noble. So, sooner or later, the doctor is going to be making appearances at Barnes and Noble for book signings. Cool. That's really cool. So my hat's off to the idiots in the opposition. But hey, you guys helped us out. You guys helped us out in a tremendous way. Very, very good effort. And then I asked the gentleman, I said, well, listen, what about the paperback version? Because a lot of people were already ordering the paperback. Well, listen to this, folks. Let me get a sip of my Red Bull. I have to get that paid advertisement in there. But anywho, he said, well, listen, let me tell you about our printing operation. And I said, well, I'd like to hear that, because I have a lot of experience in print advertising. I did it for a long time. And it just so happens they have a major, huge printing facility. Not going to tell you where it's at, but they handle 1 million pieces of direct mail every single day. And on top of that, that is where they print, bind, and publish their books. And he said, anybody ordering the book through your direct link will receive their book in 3 to 5 days, printed freshly for them, sent out in the mail in 3 to 5 days. They have the same operation in London. And the London office will be handling all of the print advertising for the book, or the printing of the book, to anybody who orders it in all of Europe. Very interesting. Huge help. I mean, I was so excited today about what occurred. I just had to get on here with the doctor and thank these people. I mean, I never thought I'd come to the point where I'd be thanking a YouTube troll for helping us out. But hey, there it is, man. You know, to the likes of Sarah Smile and whatever this Tiger, Tidge Hand, and you know, Space Cadet, and what's his name over there in Portland, Wap Tech, Logan Running, the old Twiggy over there in the UK, and the old Thoughts and Memory idiot, and Anonymous, and whatever these ridiculous names that they think up. Their team effort boosted us. I mean, it boosted us right over the threshold where we never thought that we would be. Really wild occurrence today. I mean, that's why you didn't see a lot of videos coming from me today, even though there's a lot of information out there. The doctor was very busy getting some things prepared for the new publisher. And on top of that, I mentioned to him that I just started my book 2 days ago. And he said, interesting. What's your book going to be about? Same topic, right? And I said, absolutely. But my book's going to be a lot different. I'm definitely more of a hardcore investigator. And me and the doctor are completely night and day. But I'm going to be producing my book with all of the photographic evidence that I've obtained over the course of the last year. And I'm going to write about it, and I'm going to write about my experience, you know, on YouTube as a Planet X investigator and researcher. And I'm going to let everyone know what's happening and what's occurring and what's been done to me personally over this. Over this. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Listen very carefully to my words. If there was nothing to worry about, and I mean nothing, then the doctor wouldn't have any problems publishing a small 10-chapter book. I wouldn't be having the issues that I have fighting with these people on a daily basis. I wouldn't have these problems. Neither would the doctor. Neither would many, many other people that are publicizing their information on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. All of the social medias are trying to hammer the truth. They're trying to hide it. But there's only so much you can do whenever you turn to the public. When you turn to the people, meaning each and every one of you. Now, that becomes something that you cannot silence. So if you think that you're going to step up on stage and put your hand over the doctor's mouth and silence her, that's not going to happen. If you think that you're going to silence me, that's not going to happen. But anyways, I want to show all of you something here in a few minutes. I'm going to show you something pretty cool. And doctor, getting back to what I'm talking about right now. Whenever all this transpired with your book being taken down from Amazon for the false copyright strikes.
Yes.
Tell everybody about it. Tell them how you feel.
Well, it was very upsetting because I know I've written every single word. So to be told that I actually copied or used images illegally, what was very upsetting and made me angry, actually, that people would accuse me of such a thing. So to tell you the truth, I just found it quite unbelievable that people would stoop to that kind of behavior. It is so so mean, so evil, so wicked. I just can't believe that people do things like that. And you tell me these are government agents. I mean, what kind of a government does this kind of thing? So, yeah, it was very upsetting. I just couldn't believe that people would do things like that. I mean, the images are all legal, and there is no copyright on any of the images that I used. And I can prove that I've written every word. Some of it I took from my old articles, and I have dates when the documents were created. And so, I can prove that I've written absolutely everything. So it's only a matter of time before they realize that. But it was still upsetting that they have resorted to these delay tactics. And obviously it's because the information, they are afraid of this kind of information, which is designed to tell the whole world about what's going on. And it's the mission that God gave me. And of course, I think I could expect to, to get some opposition because it's the truth. And I know the truth is always opposed. But I didn't expect this kind of attack, to tell you the truth. I didn't expect it. I thought that once I finished the book and I had published it, that, I was moving forward with letting the whole world know about what's going on in the solar system. And of course, the opposition decided they were going to delay us. So, yes, it was quite upsetting, Scott.
Yes, I guess, it was, to be startled by all of that. And, ladies and gentlemen, I knew right off the bat, once the information came out that the book was going to be published and it was going to be up there for public sale, I knew that it was just a matter of time before, they dreamt up something to do. And I guess they have like teams of lawyers, that deal with, publishing, copyright. And, oh my God, listen to this. You people are going to crack up about this. Just before we went on the air, another one of these idiots emailed me. He goes by the name of Mr. Nibiru. How ironic. Anyways, he tells me that they're not going to worry about the doctor anymore because on her 91st day here in the United States, she's going to be arrested and deported, and she will be sitting in a jail cell. And this is what they, quote, said: she'll be sitting in a jail cell with some dirty Mexicans. Okay, well, that's how you feel about Mexican people? I'm sure they would have something to say about you. The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor has already gone through her process. And I'm not going to mention anything more about that either, because that's her personal business. So on her 91st day, she will be safe and sound here in the United States, legally, and they can't do anything about it. But it just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that there is an issue. There is an issue with the truth. And you can clearly see what's happening around the world. In the last couple of days, you've seen 2 terrorist attacks. You know, they have this operation in Charlottesville, Virginia, and now this other one. Doctor, where was that, in Spain?
Yes, it was in Spain, in Barcelona. No, in Madrid. I'm not sure anymore, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely in Spain.
Yeah, so you can clearly see that there are things happening around the world. And there are going to be even more distractions, folks, coming around very, very soon. And you keep your eyes open and you'll be able to identify those. But real quick, let's do something here. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Now, this is your Amazon right here. And the Kindle version of the doctor's book is now live once again on Amazon. And these individuals are already ramping up to perform the same fraudulent act like they did the other day. The paperback, as you see right here, is actually in the publishing status right now. So within 24 hours, the paperback will be available. The Kindle version is currently live. I'll put the link in the description box. Now, I want to show you this. Let me see if I could find this, because I outright caught these individuals using their little forums. Let me see where I could get to this. I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of this. Where's my screenshot folder? I'll let this thing load up. But I took a screenshot of some information today that I saw these idiots, basically plotting. Let's just call it that. They were plotting. There you go. Now, they were leaving a link to this, I don't know really what it is. It's some kind of like forum. And this was a screenshot. And under the heading where they were in their own chats, under their videos, and this is where they connive with each other. But look up here. You see you have a tab that has Logan running. Logan running, his tab's open. Planet X The Awakening, the tab from Amazon. And this is a link that they left for their opposition to click on that link, go directly to the feedback page of Amazon, and fraudulently and illegally file copyright claims against the doctor's book. And as you can see, they have all kinds of tabs opened up right up here. And then the gangster himself, right up there, he's the one. So this is what they do, folks. This was a screenshot from one of the trolls, one of the government trolls, operatives, whatever you want to call these idiots. But this is what they were doing. They were plotting, once again, to file false and fraudulent copyright claims against the doctor's book. Why? Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, why would people do this? Why would a group of individuals, it's a small group, folks. We're talking about a few stooges from the UK and a few stooges from the United States of America. Why would they do this? I'll tell you why. Because they're paid. They're paid. Outright paid. What do you think about that, Doctor? Aren't these people so shameful?
They are. It's just unbelievable that people stoop to this kind of behavior, this lying, and it's just evil. What else can you say? Why would people do this kind of thing? I mean, I haven't done anything to them. All I'm doing is telling people the truth. I haven't done anything wrong. I have worked hard to tell people what's going on. If people don't want to hear it, they can just not listen. So I don't think I've done anything wrong. I've wanted to understand what is going on in the solar system, and I'd like to tell people who are interested in listening to it. And I've written a book. I've worked hard on the book, and to see it, being illegally struck down in this way, in this evil and hateful manner. These people must be full of hatred, Scott. And it just boggles my mind that people would hate me so much just for wanting to tell the truth. It's just so strange. It's almost, the kind of thing I really don't expect from normal people. So I guess these are not normal people. These are criminals.
Yeah, well, that's what they call me and you. I mean, that's what they call us. They call us criminals. I mean, give me a break, man.
We're just trying to do what is right, and they're trying to stop people who want to do what is right by doing shameful and wicked acts against them and hateful acts. It's unbelievable that they would do something like this.
Well, I definitely expected something like this to occur. And, I mean, we were very well prepared for it. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it was a godsend that this gentleman came out of nowhere today. And, I mean, even in our conversation that we had today about what was going on, in our solar system, and also, with our weather, what's happening around the world. And, he said, listen, he goes, I've been watching your YouTube channel for about 6 months. He said, my son, who is in college, was the one that said, hey, Dad, check this out. And then he said that him and his wife, started watching, and they started, watching some other YouTube channels and gathering their own information. And he said, living in Manhattan has actually got him kind of worried. He said he was actually starting to get worried when they had this, that Operation Gotham Shield. He thought that was kind of a scary thing. And he said it kind of brought back his memories of 9/11 because he was in his office building on that day. It took him 24 hours to make it home. His cell phone wouldn't work. He was running down the street like everybody else, covered in, soot and dirt and debris. And just very thankful once he was able to get home to his wife and his child. So we were kind of on the same page for a good bit in our conversation. And then he asked me, he said, well, what about your book? What are you going to do? And I said, well, if you want to take a look at it, if you want to, cut a deal with me, hey, let's do it. And he said, absolutely. He said, have you started writing it yet? And I said, yes, I've got 3 chapters done. It's very interesting. Very interesting. He said, well, would you mind emailing me those first 3 chapters? I'll get back with you within the hour. So I emailed him the 3 chapters. He called me back in an hour and he said, listen, this is very interesting. He said, this is just as interesting as all of your videos. And ladies and gentlemen, I have produced over 1,000 videos pertaining to this subject matter in the course of a year. So he told me to keep on writing. And if I want to get his input on what I'm writing, after I finish a chapter or 2, email it over to him. But for them to offer the doctor a 5-book deal, hey, that's pretty big. I mean, usually publishing companies, they wait for you to publish a book, for it to get out there, they see the sales, and then they make you a deal on a multi-book deal. The only thing with multi-book deals is, once you sign a contract, you can't renegotiate after you sign. But whatever. This isn't about, big money profit. And let me tell you something. Myself and the doctor had an interesting conversation a little while ago based on what was happening with this publishing company in New York. And she said to me, she says, Scott, if a lot of people do buy my book, I want to be able to do something good for people. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, we all want to do good. And she said, well, I'd like to form a charity, and I'd like to try and take some of these proceeds and put them towards this charity. And I want to do something for children. I thought that was just pretty damn cool. Because, look, the doctor, she's very modest. And I think that's a good thing. So after we get all of that rolling, we are going to form a charity in her name. And hey, I mean, we're going to get out there. We're going to get out there. Whenever I was young and just getting out of college, this is kind of odd, but on Thanksgiving, me and a couple of friends, we would always go down to the Rainbow Kitchen in downtown Miami, and we would help in the kitchen preparing everything for people that were homeless and serving them Thanksgiving dinner. And, it was an early afternoon thing. I was, normally done by 4 or 5 o'clock. But, kind of the holidays in South Florida, they really don't, I don't know. It's not like being up in the Northeast, for the holidays. But my dad would make fun of me. He's like, oh, what do you want to go, hang around these bums for, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, listen, Dad, one day, you never know, you may find yourself in that situation, and you only hope that somebody would help you. So that's why I did what I did every single year. I spent my Thanksgiving day, serving food, cooking for people that just had some really bad breaks, man. I did it for 20 years, every single Thanksgiving. And then I started throwing Christmas in there. And it was cool. I mean, I got to meet a lot of people. I got to hear a lot of their stories about how they got to where they were. Shed a lot of tears listening to some of those stories with those people. I gave out a lot of my money also to those folks to help them out. And ladies and gentlemen, the point that I'm trying to make is at any point in time, any one of us can have the rug just pulled right out from underneath our feet, and you could lose everything. And it's not going to be a happy time, naturally. But knowing deep in your mind that there's help out there, and there's going to be a good human being somewhere out there that would be willing to give you a hand up, not just a hand out. And it always gave me a really, really good feeling inside on that day, helping those people out, interacting with them, and seeing the looks on their face, you know, as they ate their Thanksgiving Day dinner in a homeless shelter. It choked me up a good bit of the time, you know. But, you know, knowing that each and every one of us here listening today, subscribing and viewing my channel and the doctor's channel and other people that are on YouTube, trying to, you know, give you an outlook on this information. You only hope that, hey, you know, do I have a friend there? In me? Absolutely. And again, that's why I've been saying that myself and the doctor, we want to get out there. We want to actually meet you people. We want to see you face to face. I've been getting just a lot of emails lately, kind of begging me in a way, you know, to make sure we come to your city or somewhere close enough to where, you know, people can drive to see us and listen to the doctor's message and her presentation. And, you know, a lot of these emails as of lately, they've been very overwhelming for me. I've let the doctor read a lot of them. And, you know, she's a very sensitive person also. But to read some of these emails from you guys is very, very touching. And I appreciate it. Believe me, I really do. But knowing that each and every one of us at some point in time may need one another. And that's going to be a key factor in whatever happens. I mean, we should all be living our lives by that standard. And I know the majority of all of you, you're very good-hearted people. Like I said, I read the emails. As of lately, you know, a good 75% of them are based on, you know, are based on these notes of thank you and hope to see you soon, knowing that you have a friend somewhere out there in this big world. Very touching. I thank all of you very, very much. It's very overwhelming, folks. You know, I never thought in a million years that in this stage of my life that I would be, you know, entering into the public eye, having so many people around the world listen to my voice every single day. I mean, doctor, I mean, if you think about your career, I mean, you know, you spent 17 years lecturing.
Yes.
Did you ever think that you were going to, you know, end up at this point in your life out in the public eye?
Not at all, Scott. And I had no plans on doing this. And if it hadn't been for God telling me basically that this was what he wanted me to do, I had no plans whatsoever of doing anything like this. I was just planning on keeping on lecturing and enjoying it and preparing my students to become physicists. And that's what I had planned for the rest of my life. You know, I enjoyed teaching my students, making them feel good about themselves so that they could go on and have careers in physics. I never thought of putting myself up front, if you know what I mean. I just enjoyed helping others. So I'm doing that now and more in the public eye, I suppose. And it's been quite a learning curve for me. So, and I know I've learned a lot from you. So, but I never expected to do anything like this. And to tell you the truth, it's been the trolls all the time that have actually somehow in some way moved me forward, because if they hadn't attacked the university and attacked me the way they did, I probably would still be lecturing in South Africa. But I had to make very hard decisions about my life and change my plans, and in a way they actually caused me to have to make those decisions. But it turned out that it was actually God's will that I do what I'm doing now and write the book and then and now go into public speaking. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's absolutely amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever we actually sit back and we think about the chain of events that occurred, with the attack on the doctor at the university, costing her 17-year career. I've always been a very, very firm believer in destiny. I truly believe that your destiny puts you in the face of people that are going to change your life. But here's the kicker. It's either going to be in a good way or a bad way. It's 50-50. And then it's all what you do to then change that destiny if it's bad. And just like the doctor said, I mean, I never thought in a lifetime that I would be doing what I'm doing, but I'm very passionate at what I'm doing because, well, it just has to be done. I know I will not be able to reach the entire world population because, well, they'll just never let us do that. But my grandfather always gave me that old saying, never say never. Never doubt yourself, son. Anybody can do anything. But then again, that was 35 years ago. Things have changed. There are bigger oppositions against the truth. Governments have gotten bigger. Greed has gotten bigger. And that factor, it's all about me, 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 has gotten bigger. Seems we've lost track with a lot of reality. But now, each and every day when you walk outside and you see these burning sunrises and these very odd sunsets and the chemtrailing in the skies, and things just don't seem to be right. And, we have these issues with earthquakes and these volcanoes and now these very weird occurrences with receding oceans and rogue waves coming in and crashing into shores and all of this chaotic weather and flooding and landslides and mudslides and hailstorms and, people getting struck by lightning by the droves. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see it now? I'm sure each and every one of you are now starting to realize what is happening, what is occurring. And some will say, hey, what can I do about it? Sit back, let it happen. going to live my life. Well, part of that is true. All you can do is sit back, live your life to the fullest. Enjoy your friends and your family. Enjoy your life. But now, folks, we're kind of moving into, we all have a little bit of a responsibility here, and that is to try to make other people aware of what is happening. You know, whenever we get to these public speaking engagements, I want all of you to think about inviting a friend or two to maybe awaken them and open their eyes, and it will create a domino effect sooner or later. You know, if anything were to tragically happen here on our planet, populations being dissolved quickly, once again, the only people that we're going to have, it's us. That is one of the most powerful two-letter words, we and us. Because that's all we're going to have. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, really. Are you actually going to be able to trust authoritative figures directing you to a FEMA camp? No, you're not. You're only going to be able to trust your family, your friends, and hopefully your neighbor, no matter where you are. Very interesting times that we are going through. It's almost to the point where each and every day, there's nothing good to talk about. But hey, listen, right now, folks, that's life. We see what's happening. It's our responsibility to expose it to others. We pretty much know the truth already. There's no sense in going up against the opposition. It's now time to make our group of we and us bigger, larger, more massive. Call it an army. Call it whatever you want. Because you never know. One day, I may need you, or you may need me. We'll end up having to literally count on each other. You may be counting on a complete stranger that you've never seen before in your life to possibly save your life or help you. I think these times may be vastly and very quickly approaching. But I think as time goes on, we're going to see more and more of the truth come out. We're going to see more and more people opening their eyes to what is happening. And we can only hope for the best. Don't be negative. Even though the situation is kind of rough to think about, try to be positive in any way you can. Having that inner faith, as the doctor talks about, is very important. Whatever faith that you think you need, you'll end up getting it. It will be there. Now, moving on to another topic. I started getting a lot of email messages and messages on the Planet X News Facebook page about what people were seeing today on the SDO, the Solar Dynamics Observatory website, which is paid for by taxpayers here in the United States. Let's get that straight. I just had to throw that in there. But what I want to do real quick, I want to bring up, let me just share my screen here. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, because it seems like a very, very large object passed in front of the SDO camera. And it seems like it did it multiple times. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to bring the SDO footage up. And I'm glad to see that a lot of you are now making your own observations. And I guess as you're learning from me and, you know, learning from the internet and how to navigate through a lot of this, this information. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And, you know, what you're looking at here is the Solar Dynamics Observatory. You're looking at a view of the sun. And we have this sunspot AR 2671 now, and it's a good distance above the equatorial region of the sun. However, there is a lot of activity brewing with this sunspot, a lot of activity. And if you keep seeing that object blanking out the sun, you'll see it go by. That's what I was getting all the emails about. But folks, listen. Every once in a while, the moon passes in front of the SDO camera that close that it just whisks by. Now, something I cannot explain is in this 48 hours, why are there 2 times in this 48-hour loop that something passes by the camera? I can't explain the second object. The first object I know is the moon. But the secondary object that passes by real quick, I don't know. I could try to stop it, but it's kind of hard with this SDO video viewer, because it's in time lapse over a period of 48 hours. I tried answering everybody that I possibly could, but I'm going to see if I could manipulate this a little bit.
When did this happen, Scott? I actually hadn't seen this before.
Today. It happens every so often. The SDO gets into a position where there you go. I missed it. Where the moon passes in front of the camera. But the secondary.
Not sure that's the moon.
Well, yeah, I looked this up. I looked this up on the solar system scope. And this was the moon, but the secondary object that passes in front, I can't explain it. I just don't know. Because where the positioning of the SDO at the precise time that it passes by, the first object was the moon, but the secondary object, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm trying to capture it.
Yeah, if you tell me the timestamp, I can look into it.
Yeah, see, it goes by so fast. I was only able, there is one way I can.
Was it on the 17th?
Hold on one second.
Today.
Give me 1 second. Let's see here. I think it was the 16th. We'll go back.
Oh my goodness. I can see it. It is on the 17th. One of them at 7:28. Now this is the so-called SDO solar eclipse.
Well, yeah, they were, they were talking about
and you remember that I always say this is actually the sun going dark. It always does at this time of the year. And I've written a lot about this. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
at the Helio viewer. Yeah, it's definitely not the sun going dark. I mean, it's not an eclipse. They say it's an eclipse, but the sun actually goes dark at this time, and it's a regular occurrence, so it's associated with some object that is in orbit somewhere in the inner solar system and comes by the sun at this time.
Yeah, so there you have it right there.
Yeah.
At on the 16th at 7:13:54 UTC time, but the secondary object that passes by, I don't know what it is. It goes by so fast, it almost looks like a glitch in the software or something, but it's not. It's actually a smaller spherical object.
Now, if you look at it, the curvature of, if you go back to the image you had on, if you look at the curvature curves outwards towards the dark part. This could never be due to an object covering up the camera, Scott, because then it would curve the other way, because all objects are spherical. Okay, if you pull down that image, you see the curvature. The curvature is curved downwards towards the dark part. And if it was covered by an object like the moon, it would curve the other way. You understand what I mean? Even if it's covered by the Earth, the only possible curvature you could have is a straight line. I mean, the maximum curvature you could have is a straight line. This is not a straight line. It's curved towards the dark part. So it's not due to any object eclipsing the sun. This is actually the sun going dark. And I've written many, many articles about this. And there's a lot written in my book about it as well, that explains that this is actually the sun going dark.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the point. I may have to go back.
It looks like it's very, I've just looked at it on Helio Viewer. I'm not very good at sharing my screen, but I could try.
Hold on one second. There's a secondary object that goes by. But I might not have gone back far enough.
Okay. Because the image I looked at was on the 17th, but it could be that eclipse may have started the day before, they call the eclipse.
That was the secondary object that went by. Let me just pull back to one more day. Because it happens twice, and this is the first time that I've seen this occur twice. Matter of fact, let me shrink this down so I can work with this image a little bit better. I think I missed it again. Now, okay, now that one was on the 16th. Let me just try to back up just a little bit. See if I could get it. Oh, this drives me crazy trying to work these in this time lapse. Let me try it again. I'll catch it.
Okay.
Ah, man. Again. There was the one on the 16th. That's the one that I can't catch.
I'll try and get it on Helio Viewer.
I'm going to just let this go slow because I'll eventually catch it.
Yeah, I think actually what you caught was the start of the so-called eclipse season, because on the 17th, it actually went completely dark at 7:26. There was, I'm looking at it now, and the sun was completely gone at 7:26 on the 17th. So the eclipse would have started the day before, probably. I'm not sure exactly which day it starts. The day it starts, it never goes completely dark. And then the second day goes completely dark. So it probably started the day before on the 16th.
Yeah, you seem to be having that same issue with your microphone again.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Are you playing around with your keyboard, Doctor?
Well, I am looking at.
You don't want to start having those technical issues like you did the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to go ahead and show this to you, but it is a real pain trying to catch this.
Yeah,
now,
you see again the curvature is curved towards the dark part. So if you had an object come in and cover the sun, it would curve in the same direction as the outer curve of the sun itself. It would be curved in that way. But you can see that the inner curve is curved towards the part of the sun that is dark. So that's the wrong curvature if it was an eclipse. And it's even worse in the 170, the 1700 angstrom. You can see clearly it's the wrong curvature.
Yeah, I'm going to try to catch it again on the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some missing time right there. I don't know if you noticed the timestamp jumped. Okay, now that was really, this is tough trying to catch this. Now it's totally black.
Yeah, it does. It does that on the 17th. So that it started the day before.
So we have it on the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
We have it on the 17th. Just trying to get a frame here. Oh, bingo. There we go.
Yeah,
there's another timestamp there for you.
Yes, and you can see a little bit of the sun is still shining below the outline. That's the typical thing you also get at this time. You can see it's not being eclipsed by the Earth. It's supposed to be the Earth eclipsing the sun, but it's not what's happening.
Okay, Doctor, your microphone's messing up again.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll sort it out.
You're just breaking up, and we're only hearing little bits and drips and drabs of what you're saying. Do you have your mouse going crazy again, or?
No, my mouse is fine.
Okay.
I think. Is that better?
Yeah, it just all of a sudden it just starts going in and out. It's probably, it might be just the internet feed. We were supposed to be going through geomagnetic storms. I believe it was supposed to start yesterday or today. I know the KP index was skyrocketing at one point in time, much earlier today. But yeah, this is very hard to capture. I'm going to give it one more little click and see. Yep, and it goes completely dark on August 17th at 7:13:54 UTC time. Interesting. So,
Yes.
so something passed in front of the SDO camera, or on one occasion, something passed in front of it, or the sun is going completely dark. I mean, see, folks, this is what I'm talking about. We always have these situations that are popping up. Some of them we can explain, some of them we can't. There's always going to be that opposition out there that tells, that says, oh, you're a liar, you're fear mongering. No, we're searching for the truth. And just because you say it's one thing, we're not going to believe you. we're going to find out for ourselves, because those individuals are just going to flat out lie to you and make you believe that it's something else and there's nothing to worry about. So that's very interesting. I'm going to see if I can give this one more click, and ooh, look at that. I was fast on that one. So now we have just this small portion of the sun showing. And this was on the 17th at 7:28:30 UTC time. I'm going to give it one more click. And bingo, the sun's back. Or is it? I'm going to go ahead and just speed it up a little bit. And also, folks, watching this this video clip over the last 48 hours, you can see this sunspot turning towards the Earth. You can see a lot of activity on the sun, a lot of solar flaring, a lot of plasma loops, a lot of activity, and it's very interesting. I'm going to bring up the other angstrom here, because it shows a lot more as far as what's happening. Oh, there was an error with your start date. Well, what do you know about that? What kind of error? Why would there be an error? Interesting. Now, this is going to show you a lot more, folks, as far as what's going on the sun and some of these coronal holes, and the reason why we have these geostorms coming in. Now, you can see the object pass by there, and you'll see it again, I think, towards the end. And I also think that we might be seeing a little bit of information missing also, as far as the date stamp goes. Yep, I just saw it. Oh my. Pay very close attention to the date stamp at the bottom, folks. Yeah. Yeah, there's some hours missing over the course of the last couple of days. So do you see what I'm seeing at the bottom, Doctor?
Yes. Yeah, they may have some images missing. Look, as you can see again, the sun goes dark there. Yeah. And I don't know, they probably keep some images out of this. You can find them all on Helio Viewer though, I think, because they have the cover story that it's an eclipse at this time. So.
Yeah. Now, even though I blew this up, I just wanted to just try to get a better look at this this sunspot activity. But because of the way the imaging is, you can't, you know, this big bar up here, their menu bar grows also instead of just the image. So what I was just trying to do is give everybody a bigger view of what's actually happening here on the left side with these filaments and the sunspot right here and all of the activity.
Oh, what was that, Scott? That was something going through the sun's corona.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier this morning, and I was able. I downloaded the I downloaded this this footage, and through my video making software, I was able to zoom in to that area, crop it in the video.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's now that is what we would call a solar prominence. When I looked at it very, very carefully, I can see it generating up from the surface of the sun and creating that little spiral. And it was really cool to watch it. I mean, I did a little solar video that I put up a few hours ago, and you know, so everybody can see this what was happening. But it's definitely interesting. You know, we don't really see a lot of these coronal prominences. They call them a coronal cavity or a cavity prominence.
Yes, that's what they call it. It's created by these stellar cores going through the corona. And you can see they are connecting, and that's why you have these spirals coming from the surface.
Yeah, that was very very interesting to watch that, you know. I mean, I could actually, while we're here, let me see if I could do something here. We'll capture it live and we'll take a close look at it. I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not. Oh, there we go. So we'll go ahead and record it up close, like I did earlier, and put it in the video. This will be a little more up close, and then you know, folks, this is a lot of the ways that we do things. This is some of the ways that, I mean, you just have to do these things. If you see something that doesn't look right, then you know you have to have a means of grabbing the information, looking at it up close. This is drawing a lot of CPU energy from my computer. Let me go down here real quick and I'll speed it up.
Yeah, so you see these little spirals. These are usually associated to these objects connecting to the sun and doing a particle flux transfer with it. So they're absorbing plasma. And
Yeah.
we've seen these before many times. And
Yeah.
as we know, there are large numbers of these objects around the sun.
Just see how this plays. See, and there's a lot of excuse me, there is a lot of skipping around in the timestamp, and that's why you're kind of seeing the sun, you know, kind of jitter back and forth there in the video, because there's literally missing time. And you know, well, you know, if you're playing a video and you cut time out of it, it's going to skip a little bit, and you know that's what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just create, you know, we'll just save this real quick and then we'll bring it up. And we'll check it out.
Yeah. I see that Prep says that he's taken an image of the sun that you were showing, and he's got something to tell us about it.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, we haven't spoke with Prep in a little while there. Let me get out of all these screens here. Let's see, we'll bring this up. This will give us a better vantage point. Won't have to mess around with it, and you know we can actually see it a lot better here. But again, you know, the video is slowed down, but it is also skipping because of the missing time.
Wow, look at that.
Oh.
Yes.
Looky what I just saw there.
Yes. There's definitely something there, Scott. Definitely.
Oh, you know, I didn't take that close of a view of this.
There's definitely something there.
Yeah, wait, the video will go back up. This is just what we screen captured here real quick. You see that missing time?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this is being cut off.
Yeah, but there's definitely an object there. It's oh, wow.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I've never seen a prominence curl into a perfect spherical shape like that ever.
Exactly. There's definitely something there.
They're usually like a like a teardrop shape.
Yes, even those that are teardrop shape are usually caused by something else. And we know we have so many of these objects in the sun's corona. They are connecting to the sun all over the place.
Oh my, I can see it. I can see it with a plasma connection to the sun. It actually moved. It actually moves down a little bit. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, you get to see once again, you know, in action, live, no doctoring of videos, no nothing. I mean, I hope that you guys can clearly see what we're seeing there. You know, I mean, yeah, can you define that as a prominence? There's a possibility, but then as you watch it further,
look at that. Look at how the plasma from lower down in the corona goes up to meet the object, and it goes right over it. It's amazing.
I can see the object in the corona.
Yes.
In pieces of this, and I can see the plasma connection.
That's right. That's right. I see it as well.
Oh,
look at that. Obviously an object
I can see it right there.
Yes, that's right.
Now, you know, these prominences, they don't travel along the surface of the sun. They're usually in one stationary area, and they could last for hours. They could last for days. But if you look up these prominences, these coronal cavity prominences, and you look at photographs of them, you look at old NASA footage of them, they don't look like what you're seeing here. And I've already done a video on this because what was that, like a month ago, when we saw that spherical object move through the sun's corona at the bottom left-hand side of the sun. The troll factions came out, mother effing us and telling us that, oh, you don't know the difference between a coronal cavity prominence. Yeah, I know what they are. I know what they look like. And that object zipping through the sun's corona at the lower bottom and out into space was not a coronal cavity prominence. I don't care what you say, it was not. You can actually see this object. And you know, there is another piece of this footage on the sun where you see a big blowback of the sun's corona, almost like wind shear, and it collapses the left-hand side of the sun's corona. Oh, well, my.
You know, Scott,
there's missing video footage here.
Yes.
There's missing time there, because now I'm starting to clearly see it as I look further and further into it.
Yeah, but you know, Scott, these objects have been at the sun for quite a while. I mean, we looked at images from 2001 in one of the old Japanese satellites, and they were there already. There was already signs that they were there. They've been there for a long time. And to tell you the truth, I believe they've come up with this idea of cavities in the corona to cover up for the fact that these objects are in the sun's corona and causing the cavities. Because there is no actual reason why the corona would form a cavity other than there's something that is opening up the magnetic field inside the corona, which would be one of these objects. So I think they actually come up with terms like that to hide these truths from us. And these objects have been around for a long time.
That's very interesting. Hey, listen, folks, everybody in the chat. I mean, you guys are seeing this on your computer screens and your cell phones and your big screen TVs at home. I mean, what do you guys see? I mean, we're definitely seeing something very, very odd. Very, very odd right there. There is missing footage. There is missing hours on this. Okay, we've already identified that. That's why you're getting that skipping around in the video footage. Ooh. I could see the plasma connection right there. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second here. Let me, oh, I've got to catch that. I got to catch that. Let me just see if I can. Okay, I stopped it right there.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, let me see if I could just move forward just a little bit, because I want to see if I could catch that plasma connection. Ah. I'm starting to see it. There it is, right there.
Yes, definitely.
You see how it's perfectly spherical? There's the plasma connection.
Exactly, yes.
Right there. Let me just go just a little bit more and see what kind of detail we can grab. There you can see the connection right there. we're going to have to go a little bit further in depth into this. Let me go ahead and just back this up, and I'm just taking this kind of frame by frame to see what we can snag real quick. See, the missing time right there is what's screwing us up. You know, I may just have to re-record this and see what I come up with. See if we could catch this a little bit better, because I sped it up a little bit. See, there's the difference in the time right there. You can see the big skip. There's a big skip right here. Just pay very close attention. There's a big skip right there in the video. Right there. It skips back to almost what it would be like normally. Now that's a little bit of an interesting view.
Yes, very interesting, Scott.
What do we have right there?
Yeah, there's definitely something in the sun's corona there.
Ooh, screenshot time, people. Hey, listen, folks, everybody there in the chat, if you're using your computer right now, grab a screenshot of what you see on your screen right now. Grab that, because this object right there, that is not a normal formation in the sun's corona. There is absolutely no way that you could have a perfect spherical formation in the sun's corona. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, right now, each and every one of you is a Planet X investigator and researcher, and you're getting the images right now. So all of you, screenshot that damn thing and pull the images up on your computer, play around with the contrast and the coloring, zoom into it a little bit, try not to pixelate it, do whatever you can. But I think we just snagged something right there.
I think so too.
Yeah, you know what? Prep just emailed me. Let me see if he wants to jump on here with us.
Maybe. That would be good.
Oh my God. You ought to just see the images he just sent me.
He did say that he found something.
I'm asking him right now if he wants to join us. Ooh, he just sent me some really, he just sent me some really wild images that he just picked up off of the SDO. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to wait for him to reply back, and you know, if he has some time, maybe he could jump on here with us and share these images. He's emailed them to me, but it would take so much for me to, you know, get out of here, download the images. I'm already using like max CPU power right now on my computer. Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes, I'm looking at the images too now, Scott. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, he says he's going to jump on.
Okay, then tell him I'll have to email him the link.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to collapse this for 1 second. Don't anybody go anywhere. Don't go nowhere. Okay, let me just get back over to here. Doctor,
Yes.
why don't you talk to everybody a little bit about that Schumann resonance?
Oh, okay. Yes, I've written the report about the Schumann resonance, and it's the Earth's natural resonance. It actually produced by lightning, and it's produced in the cavity, that is the space between the ionosphere and the surface of the Earth. And in this cavity, lightning occurs, and lightning it produces electromagnetic waves at different wavelengths. And at some of the very long wavelengths, it reverberates all the way around the planet and produces an interference pattern. And at a certain frequency, it becomes what we call a standing wave. And therefore, we would get a very high intensity showing up at that frequency. And this is it's a natural Earth frequency. And it's been around since, I suppose, the beginning, when God created the Earth. So all animals, all living beings are tuned to this electromagnetic frequency. And when they are immersed in this environment, because we all are electromagnetic beings, we feel the best. Our brain patterns are the best. Our immune system works the best. And we thrive living in this environment. But lately, this frequency has been going up. That is, the lowest frequency is still there, but there are higher modes that have appeared at which we also get a resonance. And these higher resonances interfere with the lowest resonance that we are used to. And in the same way, frequencies that we get from artificial devices like TVs, or also pollution that interfere with this pattern. So when we have these higher frequencies and this interference, we get stressed, and we know what the effects of stress are. We get heart attacks, or we get mental disturbances, we get irritable, we may or may become more accident prone. And this is the sort of thing that happens when these frequencies get higher. Now, research has shown that the higher frequencies, the higher frequency resonances occur because and are associated with geomagnetic storms. And as you know, because of the extrastellar objects in and around the sun, our sun is becoming more unstable, and we are getting more and more particles, ionized particles, impacting the Earth. And we're getting more coronal holes, we're getting more and more and faster streams of particles, cosmic rays basically coming from the sun. All of these cause higher and higher ionization of our ionosphere, and they cause higher and higher geomagnetic storm conditions. And this is what's leading to the increase in the Schumann resonances. And for the first time in 2014, I think it was June 2014, it was first registered a higher Schumann resonance. It moved from the usual 7.83 that it's been at for millennia to 8.5. And nowadays it's moved up to over 20 hertz. So this is one of the reasons I think why people may be feeling more irritable, because of all the stress that this causes. And it may make animals more irritable. And we've heard about more and more animals.
And for the first time in 2014, I think it was June 2014, it was first registered a higher Schumann resonance.
And what is that?
The usual 7.83
Oh,
that it's been at for millennia to
I'm listening to myself now.
up to over 20 hertz.
There you go.
Okay.
Prep, what's happening, buddy?
Mate, I was just looking at your video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how far. Is it live or is it?
We are live, buddy. We are live. We have the US Australia connection going on right now.
First of all, good day everyone, and Scott and the doctor. Sorry, I haven't been in touch lately. I've just been.
Hi, Pre.
Life's sort of taken over, so I've been trying to do a little bit each night, but it's been just too physically hard for me to do it. So, but I've been trying to get up every morning to take pictures of this thing at 4 o'clock in the morning over here. So, I'm being a bit knackered, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I haven't been avoiding it, Scott. I'm just being tired.
Oh no, trust me, buddy. I've been, I've been burning the candle at both ends myself. I've been up since 2:30 a.m. today already.
Yeah, and look, I understand what you guys are doing, and I understand what you're going through at the moment as well. So just remember, there's a lot of people that are standing behind you. You're not just the two out there on your own sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I know. Believe me, it's that is one good feeling that I have each and every day, knowing that we do have a lot of supporters out there. And I wanted to make one real quick announcement before we move further. Let me just show everybody something here very quickly so we can make the trolls mad. Just got an email from Amazon that now the paperback is now available on Amazon right now. It just went live for sale, probably about 15 or 20 minutes ago. So the book is now available in paperback and the Kindle version. So it's up there, folks. It's up there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Well done, Coronal.
I'm sure if you just go to the link, let me see something here. I would actually have to go to the video here and pull up the live chat. Boy, my computer's really running slow now. Wait for the live chat to pop up.
Okay.
I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link for the Amazon book there in the chat for everybody, in case anybody wants it. There you go. Pass it around. Share it. Put it in there one more time. Boy, my computer's running real slow. My God.
It looks okay, Scott.
No, I mean, it's just, anything I click on now, it's,
okay.
Yeah, running super slow. Super slow. But there you go, folks.
Well, can you just go back to that, that link you were just on? Scott, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Which, you mean the SDO link?
No. Just go back to the live chat page that you just showed. Right, if you have a look down on the right-hand side, that's the video that I did last night. on the, I've never done it before. I probably should have. Regardless of the fact of whether it's I've got people sending me emails telling me, or comments saying, "You're an idiot. This is Hubble taking a picture of Comet Ison and blah 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 blah." Well, look, you should do your research better, etc. Well, for a start, nowhere in here. In actual fact, I'll probably go the opposite way and tell people, I can't tell you that this is Nibiru because I don't have the actual, no one passed this to me straight from NASA, if you know what I mean. So I don't know where these images came from, but the images and the tests that I did on those images clearly show exactly what we're looking at right now. And then those images go back to 1996.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of freaky that if you actually watch that video, the things that we're looking at right now are actually in those tests that I did. And I did something I haven't done for a while. I actually did the whole video is a live test.
Mm.
So you saw me changing it, the color spectrums as I was doing it.
Oh yes.
So like I said, I can't tell you that these are 100% rigid pictures. I can't.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is that the things that I'm looking at inside those pictures are 100% real.
Wow.
There's no two ways about it. So if it's Comet Ison or it's Comet Pacanae, bloody whatever this bloody idiot said, one of your troll mates, Scott. then,
Prep, when they bother to tell you that you're an idiot, it's because you want to something.
Yeah, But look, my point is that regardless of what it is, and this is to all those trolls that are probably listening today, here you go. Send me an email and debunk the images that are in those. Simple as that. Tell me that those images that we're looking at in those are not real. And if it is Comet Ison, why is it carrying around such a huge solar system with it? Or did it go past and show them?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no two ways about it. Whatever those images are, that system is in those images.
Mm. That's amazing. So it was likely to have been here in 1995 already. This is unbelievable.
That's my point, and I was kind of hoping that you'd have a look at it because, Scott, what you should do with those images is actually put it on your show from my video and show people, not today, but if you want to do another show on it, but Scott and yourself will understand. Those images are exactly the same as what we're looking at today, no different.
Yes.
And they're from 1995.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So are the pictures real? I said, I can't tell you that. I don't know. But one of your subscribers and one of mine, Gary Sloan, sent it to me. And I thought, you know what? For once, I'm going to actually test these and see what's in it.
Yeah.
So, okay, but moving on, Scott, that image that you had, I'll show you. I'll just steal the screen for a second.
Yeah, no problem. Let me jump back over here real quick and let me get on out of there. It's all you.
Cool, mate. I'll try to be brief because I know you're doing your live show and you guys are showing.
I'm glad we had a chance for you to jump on here with us because, I mean, what we're going to do now is each and every day, myself and the doctor, or just me if she's busy. I mean, I'm going to jump on here and I'm just going to talk. I'm going to show what I've done for the day, what I've come up with, and actually, right now we did it live. We captured something that looks kind of odd, and I'm going to be looking into it a lot more in depth after our live stream.
Well, my first opinion of that, what you were showing before, was that it briefly looked exactly like that image that you sent me the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you're going to get ready to share your screen, go ahead and click on what you want to show.
Okay. Is that me now, or is it still you?
That's you now. You just have to click on the picture that you want to show.
Being very slow, man.
Yeah, my computer's moving real slow.
So this is what I was looking at when you guys went through it this morning.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes, I see it. Oh.
And Scott, like yourself, I don't know why I see this stuff.
Yeah,
I've never been about it.
Oh.
You know, like that. What you were saying to me the other day. You woke up at 4:30 and you got led to the computer and found that.
Oh,
which, by the way,
right to that object, man. Right to it.
Which, by the way, was probably one of the better images taken of that in a long time, mate. Like, that's just sensational.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty shocked.
So when
I was pretty shocked myself. To be honest,
I could tell.
To be honest with you, after I captured the image, I sat and I stared at the computer screen for a while, and then I got up and I was pacing back and forth in my office, pacing back and forth, looking at the screen, you know, almost pressing my face up against the screen to make sure that what I was seeing was what I was really seeing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, every image that people are sending me now, virtually 99%, and I'm not being funny, are coming back positive. But what I want to say is something else as well. People need to test their I'm sure people are seeing these, but the cognitive thinking is that it can't be real. Well, the problem is that these things are real, folks, and you're actually seeing them, but you're actually not registering that you're seeing them.
Yes.
And I sort of a tactic from the guys at the top to stop people like us seeing these things, because initially you were doing the bent shadow, and these images were already there. But, you know, I saw it and I just straight away said, mate, that is not lens flares, that's not prominence, this is actually a system that's actually sitting in front of the sun in this image, in this particular image.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll move on to the next picture then. But
yeah, I'm going to have
folks,
to
remember.
I'm going to have to download everything that you just sent over.
Yep, yeah, right. And this is important as well. If you see something that is up high, there's a good chance that it's being put there. So look low. If you see something on the left, look right, look left, because guarantee you the most of the stuff I'm finding now is because of something that's being put somewhere else. If that makes
like
sense.
A distraction.
Yes, yeah.
To move your eyes away from it.
Images you can see.
Oh my goodness.
That is massive.
Yes. Wow.
I mean, that's what me and the doctor have been saying. I mean, that's what me and the doctor have been saying for months now, as we've captured these objects. You know, when we have the coronal mass ejections, it's like shining a spotlight on these objects.
Yeah.
You know, and what I captured on Cactus is just unbelievable, undeniable.
That's right. And don't forget that if they are on the side of the sun where we usually catch them, they would be in front of the sun, on the face of the sun as well. It's just they're more difficult to see, but PrEP is now showing us that they are there.
And say to everyone, people don't know this, but we have an email chain going with some pretty prominent people in the Nibiru community, and Scott, myself, the doctor, and there's 16 now, isn't it? 16 other people that are involved in this. And some of the stuff we send to each other each day, or we're looking at each day, it's magnificent stuff. It's just incredible. But most of our time at the moment is getting stuck. And Scott will tell you, like, Scott sends pictures, you look at them, and there's pictures being sent between us at the moment that are just 100% undeniable. Like this image here, just for a second, I'll follow it. I'll follow your eyes, or I'll be your eyes with the cursor, sort of thing. Just look to the right. Like, there's another huge one there.
Yes. Wow.
Now look down here, and like I said, just let your eyes adjust for a second, and then you start to see where they are. You can't miss them.
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
and you recognize them because they always have the structure of a hole in the middle and then a round cloud around them, isn't it?
Yeah. So now I've shown you that one. Let's go back to the.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, this is just a gamma test. Now, these are not sitting on the sun. They're actually off the sun. You see a shadow?
Yes.
Okay. Can everybody see that? Or do I need to make it bigger for you guys over there? Now, this here is actually the CME spot. So you just can't not see these. Look, they're just everywhere. Like,
that's right.
This system is actually about, follow my cursor around. Well, there's another one there, look.
Yeah.
Right inside. So
that's right.
This system is actually a quarter of the sun, size, this system.
Yeah.
And Doctor, you know yourself, we've discussed it many a times over the last couple of weeks as to some of the images we're sending between each other.
Yes.
And folks, we have pictures of a particular item that Scott's found that is actually a quarter of the size of the sun.
That's
and
right.
It's 100% real, which is scary in itself.
That's right.
What did you think about that bombshell whenever I dropped those images on you?
Mate, I got to be honest, I was bloody super impressed.
It was impressive.
Okay, look, this is just to, well, look, it gives credence to the fact of what you're doing, Scott. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm trying.
No.
And, whenever I say, like the other day, I mean, I was literally just, again, woken straight up out of a dead sleep. I was so tired from all of the work and stuff that I was doing earlier the day before. I was just exhausted. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to sleep good tonight, even though I only sleep about 4 or 5 hours a day if I'm lucky. But bingo, like right on the dot, man, 4:30 a.m., I woke up, my eyes, I was full of energy, put my feet on the floor, went straight over to my computer, turned it on. First thing I pulled up was the Cactus coronagraph. And I only look at that whenever there's a CME. And I did not even know that there was a coronal mass ejection on the 15th. So this imaging that I gathered was, kind of almost a day later because of the delay. And when I saw it, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me take another look at that. And there it was.
Mate, like I said, I'm still looking at that picture. I was looking at it again last night.
Yeah.
You know, I've sent you the test back. You might want to show people the test just to.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I have to get in there and download it all. I have to download all of that, and I was going to put it into a video today and get it all out there, but we had so many conversations today back and forth with this new publisher in New York. It pretty much sucked up the majority of my day.
Well, the beauty of that picture itself is that, you know, literally you don't even have to test it because it's there. You know, I've only done minimal testing. I've done minimal testing on it to actually prove, you know, the fact that it is there. But you don't have to. I didn't even have to do that. I was at one stage. I was thinking to myself, well, I don't even have to test this. You know, it's so real. But anyway, look, moving back to this. Look, these objects are there, and if you look at Scott's picture from the other day when he shows it, just cast your mind back to this image here, and technically what Scott's picture shows, by the way, is that this system is in orbit on its own system. It's a system orbiting on its own orbit, because there was 3 or 4 planets, I believe, if I remember, that were in more or less alignment, which tells you that it's actually orbiting. So it's not part of our system.
Yeah, I mean, it's been claimed to be when you go back into you know, some of the older information pertaining to Nibiru, you know, Planet X. I mean, they named these gas giants. Arbato, or I think Arbato or Arbata is one of them. Helion, and I think they even named one of the smaller moons Harrington, after Robert Harrington. Now, you know, there's never been any absolute 100% concrete proof of that little mini solar system moving into our solar system and being here, but we're actually finding some stuff out, like right now, that may be proving that fact. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but there's also a lot of evidence, Prep. I mean, you know, you're seeing it, you're living it each and every day, right there in your house. The same applies for me and the doctor and everybody else looking at these images and watching these videos and doing their own research on the internet. And you see what we're coming up with. We're actually making bigger discoveries this year than we did last year.
Well, yeah, I remember last year we would be getting cock a hoop about a dot. You know what I mean? That was on resonance on level, you know, on a gamma test. But now we're looking at a system.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody was asking in the chat about these earthquakes that are occurring off of the coast of Brazil. In there's a huge fault line that runs right up through the southern Atlantic. They call it the Mid-Atlantic Fault Line. Runs all the way up. It just splits right down the center of the Atlantic Ocean. And,
yes, along the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you've noticed today, I've been back and forth uploading the seismic report that I did the other day, which was very in-depth, and I did it in a live stream for like 58 minutes. You know, the YouTube keeps flagging the video, so I had to keep taking it down and keep uploading it. So there's something within my video that is not liked at all.
Yes, Scott, it's the truth.
Yeah.
They don't like the truth.
I mean, I made some very critical observations of what was happening around the world, with, well, basically the total number of these earthquakes that are occurring on major fault lines and the consequences if one of them goes off that is of a magnitude that would be very, very destructive. And these major fault lines, you know, in the central part of the Atlantic Ocean, folks, I'm telling you right now, if we get a magnitude 8, 9, or 10 like that on the mid-Atlantic fault line, if it is right between the United States and Europe, we're all going to have a little bit of a mess if you're lying on the coastlines of any one of these countries. Like I said, just imagine standing over a bucket of water and dropping a pebble into the center of the water, and you have that ripple effect. Well, that's what will occur if there is a major issue in the mid-Atlantic fault line. I mean, you will feel that from England, Scotland, Ireland, Portugal, France, Spain, all the way to the U.S., Brazil. God forbid the people that live on the islands, like the coastal areas of Puerto Rico and the Northern Caribbean islands. I mean, you're going to feel it everywhere. People that live in low areas like the state of Florida. My God. The coastlines of the United States, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. Oh, my Lord, the inlets going into the state of Maryland and Virginia, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and then New York.
Yeah.
You're talking about instantaneous flooding of all of Manhattan, subway systems underwater. Immediately. Do you know how many people are on the subway at a key point in the day in New York City? Hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. So, you know, folks, it's not just this, it's not a video game thing that is on YouTube that you're watching. These are situations that could arise that could be absolutely massive catastrophes. I mean, just imagine yourself stuck underground in a subway, water pouring in, and all of the electricity goes out. There's no backup. You're 40, 50, 60 feet underground in the subway system. You know, Manhattan, it's not that far above sea level, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We have a major issue. Major issue. And then to make matters worse, we get into Operation Gotham Shield that was conducted this spring in New York City. Huh. Yeah.
Well, look, Scott, there's your image, your big catch.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes. You're always doing that, catching these objects.
Yeah, I know. It's starting to make me wonder to myself. I mean, I was having some thoughts yesterday. Okay, why me? You know, why
You've
me?
been chosen.
Now that picture right there, Prep, can you zoom into that?
I'm just want to go through it first.
So there are more of these objects all the way around. And that's to be expected. There are lots of them around, aren't there?
I'll go to this picture first because that'll focus everyone's eyes. Now, you know, don't forget we've been doing this for a while, so we know what we're looking at. But like Scott said to you, that when this is turning out, I would reckon the shiny pants in NASA would be absolutely crapping themselves at the moment every time there's a CME.
Yeah, man. They're going to stop showing them. They're going to start deleting the footage.
Yeah, look, there's no other way because these things are so big now. Even a small CME is showing them.
Yeah,
this was a small CME.
That's right.
It wasn't like major.
And like the doctor said to everybody, it's a plasma exchange between these two planets, you know, or however big this one big planet is. The reason I'm showing you this one is because there is definitely other planets there.
Yes.
That you can actually see.
Definitely. You know,
You know,
every time
it's
I
not
look at
one.
these images, I see so many of them that I give up pointing them all out. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to the same thing. People are sending me images now, and whereas before I would have spent an hour or so test them and just say, great, it's there. Well done. You know, but even cast your eye down this side, I've realised I've just missed another big one there. Look at the size of that.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
And folks, these things aren't supposed to be this close to the sun.
No, definitely not. You know, like I keep saying, if these things were not old stars, they would not survive being so close to the sun. But they are actually stars, just very old stars. So we left with basically the core of the star, maybe a thin layer of plasma around them. And that's what these objects are. They're basically stars, cores of stars. So they're at home in this environment.
This is and you know, as you know, Doctor, I've been telling everyone for ages now. There's something at 11, there's something at 1, and there's something at 6. And this kind of proves that point, because that's the cluster at 6 o'clock that we've seen time and time and time again.
Yes.
These ones here, that's the ones that are at, in actual fact, when I zoom right in on that, you can actually see the actual system at 1 o'clock there fully. So this was a great capture, Scott. No two ways about it.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you what actually happened right after this. Whenever I captured this, I said, holy hell, let me get over to the stereo imaging real quick so I can see the reverse side of this CME. On the stereo imaging for the same time capture, you're looking at a different view. So the CME would have been on like the right-hand side of the sun in that imaging. Well, whenever I pulled it up and I was watching it, I noticed something very, very strange about the actual explosion itself. I saw a very big skip in the video footage. So then I immediately went down and replayed it, but I only watched the timestamp. And lo and behold, right in the middle of the CME explosion video footage, they cut out 5 hours of video.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Exactly. But man, when you got to go in there and you got to cut 5 hours,
yeah,
you're cutting 5 hours out of a video that you know damn well that if anybody else would have saw it, look out. But what they did is they forgot about Cactus. And Cactus, like a cactus does, it pricks you.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, I've got to go in a second. Look, I just wanted to say this was, you know, I wanted to show people this because this is just.
Yeah.
There you go. Someone send me an email, or yeah, you know, send me a comment if you want. Tell me how these things are on this screen. That's all I want you to do, is just tell me how they're on this screen, because the Scott knows this camera better than me, but there's only one this thing's out hanging out in the middle of space. You can't put these images on there. So there's only one logical conclusion, which is that it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, they are real.
I know it is a lot to grasp in your mind because of just the way that we were all raised and we were all taught in our regular, you know, grade school and high school Earth space science. There's 9 planets in the solar system. This is the order. This is what they do, and these are their names. Basically, that's it. Unless you go into something more advanced into astronomy and astrophysics at a later date. But other than that, whenever we leave high school, the majority of us forget about Earth space science. I mean, let's just face it, we do. We just go on with what we were taught at those early stages. It was programmed into your little brain, and that's that. So whenever I mention to people, hey, you got to take the blinders off, you have to clearly look at the evidence, you have to take a look at the images, you got to have an open mind, and bingo, there it is. There's no two ways about it, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, look, I'm going to have to go because I've got to shoot off. So good talking to you again. Like I said, Scott, if you want to use the video, I tell you what, it's really enlightening actually. If you look through the images, now we're looking at this, and you look through the images that I found last night on that Hubble image, regardless of the fact whether it's bloody ISON or, you know, just the crap they go on with, who gives a shit what it's about? But the images are exactly the same as what we're looking at there, and they're from 1995, 96.
Wow.
Yeah, I know the guy that was on with Steve Olson, Alex. You know, I know Alex very, very well. We collaborated for a good while back in the well, towards the end of December and January, and actually even before then, back in November also. And yeah, he's a good dude, man, and he's very into, you know, the research and finding out the truth, and he's been doing a pretty good job. And he's got a real good Facebook page. And you know, I'm gonna have to drop him a line. We're friends on Facebook. I'm gonna have to drop him a line, and we might have to get him on and you know, and hear from him. I haven't talked to him in a while, but definitely interesting information. And yeah, Prep, whenever you get some free time, you know, just let me know, and we'll drop another live stream and get into even more of this, because I think these images on the Cactus, I mean, I think even more time has to be invested into them. And can you only imagine if we had like really, really professional software to analyze these photographs? Boy.
Well, Scott and Doc, you know this, but what about on the next show that we do? We just show the pictures that we've been sending around in a group, and particularly the one I sent you guys recently from Perth. Lady's name is Tina. She sent me just a normal picture. My God, I nearly fell out of my chair. You know, like you're saying, Scott, where your brain is programmed to believe what you're supposed to be looking at. It's not real.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, but let me tell you, when I show you this picture from Western Australia, you will just open your mind up 100%, because A, it's unbelievable, but true, it's actually real. I actually got another guy from Western Australia I know, because I couldn't believe the picture. I got him to drive around to this lady's house and check that she wasn't fudging the images. And I did it without her knowledge, and he knocked on the door because I could not believe this image that I was seeing. That's how real this is now. And like you said, Scott, you've got the fault lines, you've got the water sloshing around the planet. Guys, we're now into that time where a year ago we were spotting little tiny specks, when we're now seeing planets. Well, pretty soon, folks, you're going to stand out in the street and see a massive planet.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that is going to be, you know, well, that's the issue that they're trying to stop, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to stop the mass sighting, because, you know, I mean, like I said, I've said it over and over again for the last year, is that their worst fear is losing total control. Okay, because they are basically control freaks when it comes to, you know, running the masses, man. You know, I mean, running the world population, keeping themselves in total control. You know, why do you think they call it the slave planet?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pete named his website the Slave Planet. Because that's exactly what it is. I mean, we can go into that one day. Hoo-hoo, boy.
God bless.
All right, there, Prep. I appreciate you being on, buddy, and taking the time. We'll be in touch soon.
Good on you, mate. God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye,
take care.
Prep. Thank you.
Okay, listen, folks, we have a couple new moderators in there to help Butterfly out. And I know a lot of you guys are in and out at different points in time, and I really appreciate it. So my man Boost out there, he's got a wrench in his hand, and also my main man out there, DJNC. He's been given the wrench.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we actually, you know, it's a shame that we actually have to come to that point where, you know, you need people in a live chat where you can't have like an adult situation where you have to have some idiot come in and just try to disrupt things. So, you know, more people have the wrench, and, you know, the opposition will get slugged in the head with it. Hey, I'll tell you what, some, you know, pretty amazing information coming out.
Yeah, it is amazing, Scott. And I liked what Prep was saying, that we've been trying not to see these objects. And actually, I used to think that astronomy and cosmology was so boring. It's so boring that I used to watch science fiction shows like Star Trek, where it seems to be so much more interesting. But as it turns out, these objects have made our universe much more interesting, because what they wanted us to think were the laws governing everything is not the way it is. They were hiding the fact that the laws of the universe are actually quite different and much more interesting. So I think these objects are bringing out that fact. And that's one of the things I enjoy the most about studying these objects, even though they they lead to problems for our planet, of course, but they are actually bringing out the truth of what the universe is really like, and that is fascinating.
Yeah, you know, I got the screenshot photograph up, and I'm just, you know, kind of playing around here with the colors to see
Yes.
what we can bring out in that. And listen, folks, anybody at any time you want to take a screenshot of this real quick, go right ahead, publicize this on your YouTube channels. You know, you want to put it up on Facebook, whatever, you have my blessing. But now, you know, that I've taken a much closer look at this, things are looking a lot different. That's just a little bit, ooh. That's yeah. Saving a copy of that. So that's what we have up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't look like a prominence to me there, Doctor. What do you think?
Well, definitely not, Scott. I think it looks very good with what you've done with that pink color. You can definitely bring it out. That's not a prominence. That's an object in there, in the sun's corona. And yes, and it's, of course, it's doing what they always do. They connect to the sun magnetically. They pull plasma from the sun. They draw plasma from the sun. They actually exchange plasma. They ionize their own material, and they exchange it with the sun's plasma. And this is partly why the sun is getting darker and these objects are getting brighter. They are draining the sun and they are getting brighter. And
Ooh, boy,
yeah,
oh
look
boy.
at that. Isn't that
Here,
amazing?
watch this.
Yes.
Watch this, folks. Watch this. Now you're really starting to see that bad boy.
Yes.
Now watch this.
It's amazing.
Right in front of your eyes. Oh my.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Well, looky what we got here.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Oh, if Prep can see me now.
Yeah.
Look at that. Boy, that's
Wow.
about as up close as you're going to get, man, without kissing that damn thing.
Yes. Wow.
Look at that. It's right in the corona, man, making contact.
That's right. That's where these objects go, as you know. They are stars that have aged to the point where they can hardly emit any light. They emit infrared when they come close to the sun. And then they start absorbing energy and they light up again.
Yeah, let's get back to this picture because I haven't even begun, you know. Take a look at it in black and white right there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you could just throw it around there in a couple of different filters and see what you oh my. See what you find.
Yes.
Well, that's clearly an object there. That you're not going to have a perfect circle within the sun's corona. That's just not going to happen. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Look at that. Watch this one. Whoa.
Wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, and I haven't even begun to look at this image a lot more clearer. Now, this is very, very suspect right here, because if you follow my cursor, you're going to see this very light coloring of orange, very light, and as it moves up, look at the difference in the color. It's up in that corona.
That's right.
So this portion of the corona is actually covering the bottom part of this slightly behind the sun.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Oh my.
And
save another copy of that.
The red one that you looked at before, that red one actually shows a deeper layer of the sun, the chromosphere, not the corona. And that's why these objects seem to be floating above the surface of the sun. That's because it doesn't show the corona, it shows a layer below it. And these objects are in the corona, not in the chromosphere. And it's the same thing we saw with the Hanodi data, as these objects came into the sun, and that was very good as well when we did that live stream with that. So
yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, folks. You can click. Ooh.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Now that if you pay very close attention here, real quick, folks, if you take out some of that background there, you'll see the more defined sphere.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah. That's not looking like no prominence. And you want to know something else that's attracting me to this picture is look at the square hole that it's actually created in the sun's corona. Wow.
Yeah, because these holes in the corona, especially when you see it opening up so fast, it's because of these objects are moving through the corona, and they can't stay stationary over a certain spot as well, because they connected magnetically to the sun at that time. So they will stay stationary over one spot, and then as they disconnect, they move through the corona. And this is why we're getting these sudden holes in the corona. Sometimes we don't see the actual object, but we see what the hole that they form, because they solid objects. They what I call stellar cores.
Whoa, look at that.
Yes. Amazing.
Ooh. Ooh.
Look at that one. That looks amazing. Wow.
Yeah, that bad boy's there. Ooh.
Yeah, I see as you change the colors, you see more and more details of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there, all right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
Well, that's even more damning.
Yes.
My God. Yeah, that damn thing's right there. It has actually split the corona,
Yeah.
made a space for itself. I mean, if you just want to say that, it's actually made a space for itself right there in the corona.
That's right. Well, that's what they do as they move through the corona, because they solid and the corona has to step away or move away in order for them to pass through, because they solid objects. The corona is a diffuse cloud of plasma. So, you know, what happens when a solid object goes through a cloud? The cloud has to part as the object goes through. So this is what's happening.
Yeah, so that's what we actually started off with right here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, investigating that.
Yes.
And that, you know, I mean, you saw all of that live, folks. I mean, we did all of that right in front of all you guys. We captured that. We found this all together. I mean, if you want to put it that way.
Yes.
Everybody here is once again part of this discovery, as far as I'm concerned. Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, and it does take time for your eyes to adjust to the truth that these objects are actually here. In the beginning, when I first started looking at these images, I would look at them, and because I doubted the fact that such huge objects would be so close to the sun, I wouldn't accept what my eyes were seeing. I would take a step back and say, well, I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. And now there's no doubt in my mind anymore. When I see these, I know what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these objects. Some of them are huge in the sun's corona. And it does take time for your mind to accept and your eyes to then be able to actually realize what you are seeing.
That is true. I couldn't have said it any better myself. You know, because early on, as I got into the beginning stages of, you know, investigating this, I looked at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photographs that were coming into me on a daily basis, sometimes 500, 600, 700, 1,000 a day. I was getting in excess of 6,000 emails per week. And, you know, I had some questions in the very beginning, and I'm thinking to myself, logically, nah, that's impossible. There can't be an object right there. You know, and I kept thinking in the lines of that pre-programming from when you're a child and a teenager and a young adult, and then you completely forget about Earth space science and you move on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I've had some situations where, you know, I've had to look at something many, many times, but that's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. It is, Scott, definitely. Yes,
Ooh.
and what they do is in school, they brainwash you into believing that everything's about gravity, and there is this huge distance between all stars, and they never tell you. They've known this since the 1970s or early 1980s, that these objects existed. And then they went and specially brainwashed children not to believe in them, so that when they would come to what we are showing people now, they would come up with things like the Roche limit. It's not possible for these objects to be so close to the sun because it's all about gravity. So this is what people are have in their minds, this brainwashing that they received as students. I myself received it as well, and I had to unlearn some of these things, and I had to believe my own observations rather than the theory that had been placed in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Whew. Well, I can clearly see now what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening. I could see that I have my work cut out. Oh my goodness. Putting that into a grayscale.
Yes, it looks even better, Scott.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty interesting. I'm going to put it through the other two photo programs that I work with. And yeah, we're going to see what we find there. Let me just ooh, yeah, that's damning. Wow, that's pretty cool, folks. You know, hey, I'm very glad that we were all able to, you know, sit here today and literally make another huge discovery on what we're seeing out there.
That's right.
You know, Gil Broussard said to me one time in a conversation, and excuse me, me and Gil have had several telephone conversations with each other. One of them, I think we talked for over 4 hours, you know, on a personal level. And, you know, I just flat out said to him one day when we were having this conversation, I said, Gil, just, you know, give it to me cut and dry, my man. You know, when do you think we're going to see these objects? When do you think we're going to see this with the naked eye? And, you know, he kind of said it's going to be a little bit of a gradual procession into it. But he said eventually, Scott, they're not going to be able to hide it with their technology anymore. And then at that point in time, the masses are going to see it from the earth with their own eyes. But at that point, it will be too late. It will be too late. That's what he said. Now, as far as it's going to be too late, we never really elaborated on that because I was pretty stunned. And it is, you know, folks, people are now, they're now being attracted to our skies. We're now utilizing the technology that we have in our hands every minute of the day, and that is that cell phone. That cell phone can shoot video. That cell phone can take pretty damn good pictures, and you never know what you are going to capture. And once again, the conspiracies are flying around related to this total solar eclipse. I'm getting more and more of the emails asking me, you know, a lot of, a whole range of questions on the possibilities of what's going to happen. Now, folks, I can only speculate on that. I can speak for myself what I think, and I've already spoken to the fact, and I think that either they are going to chemtrail the living hell out of the sky from one end of the United States all the way to the other, and it's not like they can't do it. They do it every day. So you don't think for a second that, you know, the sun's going to be completely blocked out for 2 minutes and you've got 14, 15, 20 million people standing there looking straight up. And people are going to have welding lenses. Oh my God, the cameras, the telescopes, the solar lenses. Oh my Lord, you're going to have 20 million people looking up. And now the sun is going to be blocked out And now you're going to see a different effect. So if by chance there would be something right there, man, you're going to see it. You're going to see it from Earth. Think about it, folks. Do you see the popularity of what's going on about this eclipse coming up on the 21st? Man, it's right around the corner. It's freaking a lot of people out. And now here we are tonight, all of us together. How many people we got in there with us? It says there's 313 people actually watching right now. So, you know, I hope all of you guys were able to, you know, see the discovery that we all made here together. That's what they're worried about. So if 313 of us approximately made this discovery here tonight, just imagine what 20 million people standing on the side of the road along the path of totality are going to see, if anything at all. Woo! Man, it really makes you think, people. Woo, man. Listen, folks, all of you right now, I'm going to go ahead and put this up as full screen. Wait till my little menu bar gets out of the way here. I'll put my cursor over here so you could all get a good screenshot of that. I got that full screen. So go ahead, take some screenshots of that, because all of you took part in making this discovery here today. Take the photograph, take the screenshots, and maybe sit down tonight or tomorrow, whenever, and utilize you know, a picture editing program. See what you come up with. Because you know what now, folks, this is just not my job and the doctor's job. Like I said earlier, it's all of our jobs now. We owe it to each other. We owe it to everybody else out there that doesn't know what is happening. We now owe it to all of them. Big team effort here, man. Big team effort. It's what it's all about. I'm really happy about this. I'm happy about this, the sense that we all just made this together, man. That's really cool. What do you think, Doc? That's pretty cool, huh?
Oh, yes. It's amazing, Scott. I actually so enjoy making these discoveries, and you always the one making them.
Yeah, you know, and I still can't put my finger on that. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'd like to make the discovery of picking the Powerball numbers, you know, when it's like $400 million, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, hey, you know what? If it's a calling, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could say I'm glad to be the one to bring all of this to all of you. But here tonight, folks, yeah, we witnessed something that was pretty cool. We all made this discovery together. I'd like for all of you to get a screenshot of that, put it up on your Facebook page, tweet it out to Donald Trump. Say, hey, Donald, check out what we just found.
I think he knows, Scott. I think he knows.
Oh, you're damn right he knows. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really amazing, folks. I'm gonna get some more screenshots of this, and it's from what I see, I have my work cut out for me this evening, and I'm gonna write a few more chapters of the book. I'm gonna get that emailed off to our new publisher, and you know, we'll see how long the book stays up on Amazon, folks. You know, anything can happen. You know, the troll faction, I mean, they committed their fraudulent act by filing false copyright strikes against the doctor's book. Yeah. Less than 48 hours after it was up there and published. They will probably do the same, you know, but like our new publisher said, you know, it's only a matter of 7 to 10 days before you actually have to produce the legitimate copyright strike documentation to Amazon.
Mm.
Okay, so they don't have any copyright forms or legal standing. It's just fraudulent. It's fraud. That's all it is. They call us the fraudsters. Get the hell out of here. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? But listen, folks, you know, later on, whenever we get everything set up, we won't have to worry about this whole Amazon thing anymore, because the publishing company will be giving a private link for all of you to use, completely secure. And like I said, you know, the doctor's book is really informative. She did a great job explaining things the best that she could in layman's terms for her beginning. But I'll tell you what, when I'm finished with my book, and there's going to be hundreds of images in that book, some of which, I'll tell you the truth, I've never shown anyone. That one's going to be explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Very explosive. But listen, folks, we're going to go ahead and take off for now. I'm I'm kind of eager to get into analyzing this photograph and more of this footage. Once again, you guys are more than welcome to screenshot this information, put it in a video of your own, get it up on your YouTube channel, monetize it if you have that ability. Put it out there on your Facebook pages. Put it out there on your Twitter. Take a snapshot of it for your cell phone. You know, email the photograph to your phone. Download the photograph into your pictures in your cell phone and show people. You know, your coworker. Hey, Bob, check this out. Yeah, then you'll start awakening people with the same device that you carry with you every single day, your cell phone. It could be your new Planet X tool, because that's exactly what it is. Man, you could capture something, immediately upload it straight to YouTube, upload it straight to Facebook, tweet the information, start creating the network. Folks, once the network's out there, and you know, it's going to be unstoppable unless, you know, the internet gets taken down. And that might be a huge possibility. At that point, we will, you know, we'll be sending smoke signals like the Indians used to, you know. But it is what it is. We're just going to have to keep plugging away. But once again, I'm very, very happy that we made this discovery here today with everybody. That's really cool. Listen, Doc, any last words for everybody?
Well, thank you, Scott. As usual, I'd like to say thank you to you and for everyone for their support and for your help. And I'd like to tell everybody that we are going through hard times, and they are likely to get worse. But we have a creator who loves us, and he's telling the whole world a message through these objects being here, and that is, it's time to look to him. He is ready to help us and to show us his love. And so we should get to know him, because he's a really good person. He's a really good father. And so we should look to him. We should get to know him. And that is my message.
I agree. Once again, you know, ladies and gentlemen, while we've been doing our live stream, it's been, oh my God, what am I counting here? I think I'm counting about 10, 12, 13, 14 troll videos that have come out since we have been on the air, and they are from they're from the usual suspects. They think that they're actually making a difference, but they're not making a difference at all. And once again, I'd like to thank all of you, our viewers, our followers, now our teammates, Planet X investigators. And let me just throw this in there real quick. I'd like to thank that little troll faction for actually flagging that Amazon publishing the doctor's book, because you guys actually helped us out. You actually put us on a pedestal, on a stepping stone to exactly where we wanted to be. And another good thing that's going to come out of it, you idiots are actually doing something good, because when the doctor mentioned about creating that charity with the proceeds from the book and also allowing us to travel and speak with all of you publicly and show you the evidence in person, you guys just created that stepping stone for us. Because like I've said before, folks, these things do cost money. You know, they do cost a lot of money to put that type of program together, but that's our main goal. And the trolls, these little shills, they actually progressed us up to that stepping stone. My hat's off to you idiots today. Thank you very, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, be looking for, a couple of live streams from us tomorrow. And I'm going to get together with Prep's images, what we've just captured here today. And yeah, be looking for a few more surprises from the Nibiru channel and Planet X News and our rogue physicist. That much is for sure. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a fantastic evening. Keep your eyes to the skies and make sure you stay tuned. Take care, folks.